What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Onney, the CEO, and I'm back another week, another fire segment. And this week, I have someone special for you. I have someone who is highlighting the trendsetters, the tastemakers, and he is a mogul himself. So I need you guys to buckle up your seatbelts because you're now plugged in, tuned in, and tapped in to Outside the Box. We're in a day and age where your network is your net worth. And the man that I have in the studio today has built a network that has become profound. It has listed so many tastemakers, trendsetters, entrepreneurs, and music moguls. So without further ado, I need you guys to give it up for Mr. Elliot Guidry.
You can't tell by the redness in my face. I'm excited.
I'm excited to have you. You know, one thing I can say is you never know who's paying attention. You never know who's watching. And I have literally watched you grow from like 2010. And I have been in the same rooms with you and seeing you kind of like grow and go. You know, I'm one of those pay attention. And so you've definitely earned your stripes. And you've earned your flowers, and I just want to be able to give you your flowers while you're still here.
Stop. Stop it.
So I know who you are, but for those that are listening, and of course those that are watching, can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Oh, man. Well, the name is Elliot Guidry. Gifted that name by my uncle, who was also named Elliot Guidry. Wild story, but, you know, I won't get into it too much. But, started a brand, a magazine back in 2010, well, really 2009, when the idea came about. Trying to create a lane for artists at the time because that lane had really kind of closed up and there was some real untapped talent out here that I felt like needed a spotlight. Called my cousin Dave, was like, hey, if you had a magazine, what would it be called? Trend Magazine. He was actually running a spot called Trend Fridays at the Shadow Bar, so it just kind of worked. Looked up the Trend Magazine that was already taken. I was like, you know what? Just call it Houston Trend. And then went down to the courthouse, got my name copyrighted and everything, and from that point I taught myself how to do my website, how to publish it, all of it. This was just figure it out as I went.
And so what became like your new formula for success? Because a lot of people, you know, they say they don't really understand it. Figuring it out how you go is like really figuring it out. Like no one is just gonna come and just put all the tools you need. So sometimes you invest in things and it might not work the way you want it to go the first go round. So like what became your formula? When did you know like this was a niche?
It took a while because, you know, when you're really in the work, you're kind of just working. You're kind of just figuring these pieces out. Moments when folks that I would recognize would turn around and recognize me, I guess would be like those moments.
Right.
Like first time seeing Lil Kiki and he knowing who I was,
right.
Or Elliot Wilson blew my mind. It was like, no, you're Elliot Guidry. Like, wait a minute, wait, how?
You know my name.
How? You know what I mean? And then just looked at me and was like, that's my job.
Yeah.
It's like, geez, that's dope. So, yeah, just when you're doing it, you just don't really pay attention to, everything else outside of that.
Right. So what inspired you? Like you say, you wanted to create a platform that highly artists, but the idea of let me go with a magazine because your magazine, of course, is digital as well. So you can go online and the website and see different articles and stuff like that. So what made you decide like this is what you're going to invest your time, energy, and of course your resources into?
I was trying to figure out really how can I put all of my stuff that I was doing into one thing. So from photography to, like I would write every now and then. I wouldn't say even at the time that I was a journalist, because there's some real writers out there that do an immaculate job, and I can't even, that graduated and got a degree in it. I can't compare myself to the things they've done. But, it was just something that I was just kind of tinkering with, and like, you know what, I'm just going to throw all of this into a magazine. I had stacks of magazines and would love to read them. So I just thought it was necessary. Like, I wanted to see the folks that I wanted to see on a cover. It was like, fuck it.
That's kind
can
of
you
how.
curse?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
It's not censored, and that's kind of how I feel with Outside the Box. Like, I know we Houston. First of all, like, I have different people from all over the country come. Atlanta, LA, Houston, but Houston has so much untapped talent, and I think it's because it's so oversaturated with talent. That the people that are really hungry kind of get looked over, and all it takes is someone with a little bit more money than you and more resources. They can take your sound, your idea, your style, and put it out before you even tap into it. That's why I hold my cards so close. Like, if you hear about it, it's already done. I'm already doing something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But with music, it's really hard to find all the gems because all the rhinestones is everywhere. No shade.
Nah, but like, it's like music is subjective, right? Like, I like talking about the music I like. I like talking about the artists I like. And there's somebody else that will talk about an artist that I probably wouldn't have looked twice at.
Right.
And that's what's beautiful about it, is because, we're oversaturated even in the media department.
Yes.
But what one is willing to talk about or not willing to talk about, somebody else is. And as an artist, you have to kind of see those lanes. It's like, okay, I know I'm not getting any attention from you, but I'm getting it from over here. So let me go over here where I am, where I know they're going to talk about me.
Right.
And that's just how I would think as an artist, I guess. And that's just kind of what I catered to when I was talking about artists. It's like,
so as an owner of a platform that highlights artists, what can you say was some of your highlighted moments in being on your end of the spectrum?
So with the magazine in particular, putting together like events or things like that, but more recently the evolution, if you will, from Houston Trend to Texas Trend, and how this even came about is just wild to me. I don't know if you want to talk about that now or.
Yeah, we could talk about it.
It was like, so when you work so hard at something, and that being Houston Trend for me, like I put, almost 12, 13 years into it, and it was getting at a point to where it was like, okay, I don't have the capital or the revenue coming from this or going into it at this point, and things are kind of like, I don't know what else to do with this. Right as I was getting there with it, I got a phone call from Devon Douglas, and he was partnered up with Gas Guys at the time, and they were trying to build a media platform, and he was like, you got to work with Elliot Guidry. Blew my mind when he even said that, because to even be brought up in conversations when I'm not around or anything like that, just, it's like, oh man, thank you.
God will open up doors you didn't even knock on. When you operate in your purpose.
As my mom used to say, he's thinking about you even when you're not thinking about yourself. And that was definitely one of those moments. So their idea and kind of, the things that I'm bringing to the table is I'm excited for what's to come, with it. Being able to bring the stuff I was talking about for years now on a platform that actually has a steam train behind it now. I'm excited because stuff I was struggling to do then can really get done now.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
For staying the course. Sometimes God, He will throw us that reminder to say, wait a minute, don't give up. It is usually right when you're at the precipice of saying, you know what. But I think that it was you being willing to release the outcome and say, you know what, I just don't know what this is, because to me, even with Outside the Box, I have those same battles because I love what I do, but it costs. This is not free, the technical team, the editing, the studio facility, everything, it costs. So this is a very expensive passion project, for me, but I love what I do. So I commend you for, being a martyr for highlighting artists, and those that are walking in their own true path.
You say that, and I'm sitting here looking around your studio, and I'm looking like, what is that? What is this? What is this? Yeah, like, if you are going to dive into a passion project, it's going to take every bit of resource you can give it.
Listen.
And what it looks like is maybe different from how you feel. Like, from what I'm seeing, is maybe like, oh my God, this is so cool. But you're already seeing 5 or 10 years down the road, like, this is okay. We hear, but there's something else that you're after.
Yeah, definitely.
And kudos to that, because this is this carpet. I want to kind of lay on this carpet.
Well, I'm glad you like the studio, man. I did. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this. It came from a long way. It started from a podcast, and now here we are. We have a talk show where I could bring people that I love and people that I love what they do and just what they do in the community and for the community, and sit down and just have a dope ass conversation with them and just be like, man, tell me about yourself. Like, what inspired you? And because there's somebody else, there's another brown boy out there, that want to be inspired, that want to do what you do, that is having the same questions like, is this, can I really do this? And so you're convincing someone out there that's watching today that it can be done.
This is a lesson I learned from my brother. Shout out to Marcellus Anthony. Fitness guy, educated, intelligent. I just love talking to him. But how you speak to yourself are the things that you're going to be able to put out. And if you're telling yourself things that you can't do, you're automatically stopping yourself from your full capabilities. Telling yourself you can, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. It could be as wild as I want to fly. Boys build airplanes. We flying now. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, try to do that and figure out the most easiest way, I don't know, or even find the difficult way. Just start not chopping down those blocks to get there. Learn how to talk to yourself a little bit better.
Now, what was your aha moment that told you, you know what, I can do this, and this is gonna manifest just the way I saw it? And I know it's still unfolding before your eyes.
I didn't have like an aha. I just started doing something.
Yeah.
And that's kind of really what I did with anything creative. I just started doing something. And, now that I say that, it's like I could see how my mom was just like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
You're just doing something. But I stuck with it and started figuring out new ways to get it out. Social media became, like an anchor for what I was doing. It was like, oh man, I don't have to be out passing out flyers saying, hey, can you check out Houston Trend? Man, check out Houston Trend. Now, I can make a post, and however many people were following me at the time would see it until Instagram said, oh, no, we're cutting that in half, my boy. But, so I was just using anything that I could at the time and just trying to figure everything out. I needed a website. How do you build a website? Let me figure this out. Just whatever it was. It wasn't an aha moment. It was just, holy shit, I'm here.
Now, you also, on top of Houston Trend, I believe we brought up the website. If not, let's bring up the website for Houston Trend. It has also evolved now to Texas Trend.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you tell me a little bit about the evolution from Houston Trend to now Texas Trend? Is it two separate entities?
Yes. So Houston Trend is still Houston Trend. Shout out to my girl Jay Renee, and he's always right. They have been carrying the Houston Trend flag, keeping it updated, keeping new articles on there, you know, day-to-day stuff. With Texas Trend, like I was mentioning, this is more of a situation with Gas Gods, brought to me by Devon Douglas, who I can't speak highly, you know, like, there's not enough I can say about that man for being able to pass me that assist or even thinking about me in that capacity. And the things that he's done with the Houston Press, you know, it's like he was already doing the things that somebody like me would be dreaming to do. You know, you're putting out these articles on this major platform instead of kind of building your own and then putting it out, which, don't get me wrong, do that. But it's like when an artist does it independent and they see their homeboy get signed to a major. Success can mean very many different things.
Yeah.
But when you're seeing it, it's like, dog, now he got the money behind him.
Right.
I'm still over here trying to figure out how to get this stuff out of my trunk. You know, now that was back then. You know, these days you just upload it to DistroKid and have a blast.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was so. With Texas Trend, this is going to be more of a adult. This is I want to see. If I accidentally see this magazine in somebody's office, I want to see it in like a judge's office, a lawyer's office, dentist's office, and showing us in a different light. Like there's more to us than entertainment. You know what I mean? There's folks out there on a day-to-day grind doing things to really make a difference. Things like that. And then just stuff that we're into, like, you know, where should I go if I'm in Houston? Or where should I go if I'm in Austin,
What's the best
Dallas?
restaurants?
You know, anywhere. Like if I'm in Texas, where do I go to that has the vibe? What spot should I eat at? You know, all of that. You know, what are those quiet, unknown little spots that I can, you know, where are the speakeasies? What are the brands? You know, where are the businesses that are working on their own, trying to, you know, promote their business? That's what Texas Trend is doing, you know. And then with Gas Gods, it's not just talking about the cannabis culture, but doing it in a sense like you never, like, it brings folks together. And I say that in the sense of you never know who. There is a judge that does. There is a lawyer that does. Your dentist probably does too.
Yeah.
And look at the stuff they're already doing. So the conception of, or the misconception of,
the best medication out there. Listen,
Lord knows,
putting the pharmaceuticals out of business. That's the only reason why it's not legal in some places still.
Yeah, well, and it's what else do you need to tell the motherfucker? You. You know?
Now I see you bought in a championship belt. Tell me what it is.
Oh, now look here. Okay, so I'm super big. Shout out to my Good Heat podcast crew. Okay, it's the day after WrestleMania, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring this because we feeling like some champions around here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Welcome to the winner's circle.
You know what I mean? We're doing some things in our lives that we can feel like I should be able to walk around with this and be like, I did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Champion for the folks, and just try to make sure I keep doing what I've not only have already done, but.
Now, where are you from?
I'm from Houston. Born in Third Ward.
Okay, Third Ward.
You know what I'm saying? Mom moved out there. That's a shout out to my moms. I miss her dearly, but she raised me in the tray. Me and my brothers. And so Third Ward is home. You know what I mean? That's where I figured out what wrestling was. That's where I figured out how to be a kid and, you know, talk to people. Just by being in the neighborhood. Walking home from Turner Elementary.
Well, I want to personally thank you for what you're doing for the community, for the industry, you know, for the people like myself, you know what I'm saying, that are trying to create legacy and leave our footprints in the sand, you know. Also, you work with Donnie Houston podcast.
Shout out to Donnie, man.
Shout out to Donnie Houston.
Working on his 3rd year.
Okay.
You know, I'm excited for the stuff that he's doing. Excited for the documentary he's getting ready to put out that I'm working with him on. Donnie's got a lot of dope things down the pipeline. And if you're already not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man. That's some stuff that's going down over there that, you know, I love working with intelligent folks and in their perspective. Donnie knows a lot about the history of this game from Houston. Like, I've seen folks come sit on that couch that I didn't recognize by face. But as I'm sitting there, you know, running the cameras and hearing these stories, it's like, wow, you're that guy. You know, or, you know, like, dang, it's just, like I said, the immense amount of knowledge that he has for what he's doing, I have to salute him. You know what I mean?
Shout out to that.
Shout out to Donnie, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Donnie.
Now, you also are a brand ambassador of sorts.
Yeah, and
So-
I actually brought something for you.
You
if,
did?
you know, if you don't mind.
I don't. I like gifts.
You know what I'm saying? Let me put this back down. So, started working with this brand. Shout out to my boy Big Country.
I was just about to ask you about that.
And put that right there.
Yeah.
Oh, where we at right
Yeah,
there?
we gonna get some brand placement. There we go.
You know, so I wanted you to try this so you can let me know on your show how you feel about it.
Okay. Shout out.
So, this has got to be the most smoothest vodka I've ever tried in my life. Now, this is nothing against anybody, but this legit. I ain't gonna give you too much, you know.
All right. I like these shot glasses.
You know, I'm
These
a
are super dope.
photographer, so
I like
shout out to
that.
my
Shout
boy
out.
Quest, because he has a coffee mug that looks like these.
I need some of these.
And I saw these shot glasses and was like, yeah, I got those.
Well,
So,
a toast.
listen, this is to you, the legacy that I'm already seeing and the legacy I don't already see. Because from what I've seen on your channel, what I'm looking at right now, this is more than just dope. And what you're doing for, like, I was looking at your show and I was like, that's Oprah. That's Oprah. And that's not like Oprah, but that's like what I feel Oprah should be like.
I
It's to
received
you.
that. Thank you.
It's to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's smooth.
And you didn't even make a face at it.
That is smooth. Listen, shout out. What is that? Castell?
Castell vodka.
Castell vodka is smooth. It doesn't have aftertaste. It doesn't burn going
Nope.
down. Oh yeah, I better be careful with that. That's a little bit too smooth. It'll slip up on you.
You know, I mean that's the purpose. You
I
know?
want a bottle. I want a bottle. And I'm not even really a vodka girl, but I drink that.
And that's so. When I was trying it, I was like, wait a minute.
It's still smooth.
Like I can have this just easy on ice or straight.
Yeah,
like,
you can
I
drink it
don't-
straight.
I don't do too much with vodka.
Yeah.
You know, I've been more of a tequila or a scotch guy these days. But when my boy Country brought this to me and was like, yo, you just got to try it. And I was like, okay, let me see. Tried it and it was like,
Y'all going to send me a bottle. I'll be a
I'm
brand
down for
ambassador.
this. I'm down for
I'll
this.
be a brand ambassador.
So, listen.
Again, I know I can't hold you here all night, but I
I
definitely.
know you good. We good now.
wanna-
We family
I,
now.
I thank you for just letting me, have you sitting on the couch, let me get in your business, just to find out, like, where the idea come from, the inspiration behind it, where you're from, who are some of the people that you're working with, just kind of get to know who's the man behind the face, behind the name, because you've been moving and shaking. And I guess like it is when we're busy working, the accolades, we see them, but we don't see them because we're not where we want to be yet. And so I know that there's so much more to look forward to. Now, are you working on any particular projects right now outside of course, promoting the brands that you're working with? And
Outside of that, I do work with the Media Block from time to time doing some of their events. They have something going on for the month of April. Make sure you are tuned into what they're doing. Shout out to Guyton, his wife, his sister-in-law. the things that they have been, that I've seen them do with the media block, like turn the first one from just an empty office space into what it is today. Like, that shit inspires me to see people create something from nothing.
From poetry shows to photography sets.
Fashion show. They did the Something Dope concert they just put together. Keto Flex showed his past, present, and future fashion line. Jay High presented a piece inspired by the media block. Sky Free, oh my God, he and his wife put together a piece.
Because we go live.
You know what I'm talking about? And when you hear stuff like that, like, it just, I love stuff that makes me feel
good, yeah.
And he and his wife, they went up there and they killed. I was like, you know what? That's what love's supposed to be like. That's what love looked like.
Yeah.
You know,
I love them. Shout out to Courtney Lean and Sky Free.
You know what I mean? They can tear down a show.
Yeah.
And they put it together. So, yet again, shout out to the media block. Love them over there. And they be on my behind about keeping my stuff together. So, you know, you got to love folks that are in your corner, you know, cheering you on and keeping you going. And since the day I met Q Guidry, he has been that guy. You know, just, I can call him right now. And if it's something bothering me, I can talk to him. Donnie, too. Like, me and Donnie have, you know, since the 2 years I've been working with him. But, you know, just, you got to appreciate folks that just call you out the blue and just be like, hey, what's up? What you doing?
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
you got to, and then, too, life is short, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you have some flowers, don't hold on to them. Give them to those you love while you can, because tomorrow's not promised.
That's what they meant for.
None of us. And so I just, like I said, I wanted to give you your flowers. I want to thank you, you know, in front of the world for coming on Outside the Box, letting me get all in your business. I wanted to tell my listeners and my viewers, because we all the way in Ghana. We're Third Coast TV. We're in Louisiana. We just everywhere. Okay. You know, we might be cousins too. You know, we'll talk about that after the show. But definitely for those that are listening and watching, I want to remind you guys that we are on every week, same time, same place. We're on multiple platforms. You can find a platform that works for you. I want you guys to make sure that you go on over to our YouTube page, Outside the Box with Onney. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Click that bell notification so that you could be notified when another segment is coming out. This particular segment is powered by Swan Isle Sea Moss beverages. Make sure you guys get your sea moss and your sea moss infused beverages from Swan Isle Sea Moss. And if you guys love what you see today, make sure you go and you follow my guy, Elliot Guidry. Make sure you go to his Instagram, click that follow button, and also stay up to date with what's going on with Houston Trend Magazine. Make sure you check out their Instagram page as well. Click that follow button. And Houston Trend also has a YouTube, well, actually, Elliot has a YouTube page.
I do.
I went to your YouTube page, and I was like, oh, man, he's traveling and everything. You guys make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell notification so you can be notified when he drops new content. I mean, he's traveling. I see some exotic pop on there. I mean, he's doing some of everything. Also, for our Twitter finger followers, make sure you follow him on Twitter. And for our Facebookers, our older crowd, make sure you go to Facebook. He has his personal page, which is Elliot Guidry, and you can follow the Houston Trend Facebook. And for those that didn't catch it earlier, Houston Trend is evolving. Make sure you also go to the Texas Trend website to find out what we're doing new in this season. It's a good look, man. We at the winner's circle. So join us. Follow the movement. Make sure you join the team. And I want to thank you again, Elliot.
Thank you.
For letting me get all in your business and for sharing your Castile vodka with me.
Hey, man, we can have another one before we dip.
Okay, that's a bet. We're going to do that one after the camera's cut off. I want to thank you guys. And I want to thank you guys, all our listeners and our watchers. I appreciate you for following the journey. I'm your host, Onney, the CEO, and you're now plugged in, tuned in, and tapped in to Outside the Box.
On tomorrow.